Hello. There was some kind of failure making the last video and it cut off early. So in continuation, here's a hemlock that it fell over of its own accord, but it was still alive. But I figured that would be a good one to take. It wasn't in optimal conditions. And the bark came off a lot easier on this one than on the other one up there. And I think that is basically down to maybe the amount of hydration that the tree was getting, because down here we're now in a kind of a swampy area. So this tree was very juicy and succulent, and the bark came off, as you can see. It's just pulling off in strips. Now it'll always hang up on the knots. And a cool thing about the Spudbuster is that, well, this was cut with an axe, obviously, but when it's something like this little thing here, which I missed, could be a little bigger, you can just bang straight into that with the chisel point of the Spudbuster as you're going with the bark, and it'll take that out. It'll pop that right out. So yeah, it needs tidying up, and I got to measure it out to 10 feet long and trim it, and then I can get up to the next section. Maybe there's not really enough on this one. Some of them they can be this thick and you can only get one rail out of them, or they could be this thick at the base and you might get 4 out of them. Just, it all depends on how the thing was growing. So over here, there's a nice example of one that fell over and it didn't make it. And so I just rigged myself up a little camera stand here, because I put this V-shaped dead stick there, and it would appear that if I just pop the camera in here like that, now I can go two-handed, and I can demonstrate a little bit about how I've been using this thing, which is really multiple ways. It turns out there isn't really one way to use it, even in the bark spudding context, because obviously then there's the smashing thing, which here, for example, this is all these tough dead branches all the way up. I can. Yeah, we saw that coming, didn't we? So maybe I won't focus too hard on the smashing right now. Just gentle smash. Still there? Cool. Now this, I can probably punch through that. Punch through it if I were heading in that direction. I've been wondering whether I should have a mallet at this point. It happened to be a convenient rock on the floor, but there we go. You can chip it out like this. That's it, totally gone, right? No, that looked like a lot of work for one. It was quite a lot of work for one little knot. But when things get clearer, you can start hitting harder. So now I've lifted up this strip here, up the middle there. Now I can start going in the sides there, right? So what I'd figured out for that is that you don't really want to be trying to take off a big chunk so much as, in one go. I'm going to get in there and hear that sound. As long as you're hearing that sound, bark that was very firmly lodged is being detached. If you've got strong fingers and strong nails, you can do this by hand. You can do it with a knife. You can do it with whatever. But see here, I also have the cutting ability. So if I lift up a piece, then I can start cutting in like that. And in this direction, it's on the flat. In the other direction, I have to change the angle. But it works almost as well going in that direction as in that direction. So you can cut, you can pry, you can smash. And it takes a minute. It's not swift and speedy, but it's pretty satisfying once once it's done, you know, you get a good result because you end up with quite a sturdy piece. You know, I was thinking about this, like, you can really do this by machine. You can take a whole tree into something and feed it through, and it'll and leave it like a smooth pole. But this way, we're keeping the cambium. You're leaving the knot flush. It's just you're getting the most out of the piece, right? In a way, and it looks nice and rustic. So something as big as this, I'm still wary of smashing it because I figure there is, you know, there is a way that this thing could break. You know, it is what it is, and also I'm wary of hitting it too hard now because it might make the camera fall. But I'm just gonna. Okay. I hit it in the right part. That was my hand clicking. That wasn't the tool. Yeah. I'm checking this periodically, you know, for any movement, any play, any cracks, any major edge damage. Nothing, right? So we got a 90-degree, you know, there are all kinds of areas here that are like little hammers or little smashers, right? And you can smash in with this and you're not going to do much, but I'd rather just keep it as sharp as possible in case I want to more kind of cut something. Yeah. So depending, you know, I was working before with the things on the ground. Then it's nice to be able to work kind of from standing, put your weight into the thing. However, if it's hung up like this, I'll keep it up like this so I can kind of work at it at approximately body height as far up as I can get, like with that other one over there. And then I'll chop it. So I think I can tentatively recommend that people who are interested in this kind of work and bushcrafting and stuff might want to make yourself a Spudbuster. Thanks for watching.